All right, Sammy. Sammy, where'd you grow up? Where are you from originally?
Peoria, Illinois.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, not really. It's just shithole.
I know where Peoria is.
Oh, do you?
My ex-wife was from Peoria, Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about your childhood.
Childhood, I mean, yeah, it was crazy. I mean, immediately, I wasn't even part of the family because I was taken away. My mom was a barefoot gutter punk in the streets of New Orleans when she got pregnant, so living in a car. So I didn't get back into the family till I was like 3.
Tell me about your parents.
Well, mom and dad were never together. I mean, they had sex and she got pregnant, but she was 14 and he was 19, so she went back to Illinois from New Orleans and he went back to Houston. So there wasn't really a family. I didn't even meet dad till I was 14.
Who raised you?
Huh?
Who raised you?
Grandma and the system. I mean, mom had me for a few years, but not long. Kind of raised myself, I guess.
How far did you go in school?
I dropped out in 11th grade with a 4.0. I mean, I've always had incredibly good grades. I was a pretty smart kid, but I was bouncing back and forth between group homes, and I said, fuck it, I'm going to go to New Orleans. You know, I'm just going to take off. So.
And you went to New Orleans at what age?
Was I 15 or 16? 16, I think, 16. Right before I turned 17, I think.
Early in your childhood, was there ever any abuse, in the foster system? Anything like that?
There was some weird shit, but nothing like, no sexual or no physical abuse towards me. But I mean, yeah, I saw some shit, and I had people threaten me, like foster parents, like, screaming at me in my face. But, I mean, kids are kids; they shouldn't be treated like that. But nothing. I seen shit happen to other kids though. There was one kid, he was schizophrenic, and their kids would pick on him and tease him, and he'd be like hallucinating and shit, and it was mean. But yeah, the system's fucked. But I did get, finally, when I was 14, I got put into an independent living program, which they changed some laws in the state of Illinois to make this happen, because at the time you had to be 16. But I had been like in limbo in what they called shelter care there for a long time. So it was good for me because I was kind of a grown-up kid anyway. So I was able to function because, you got to get a job and pay bills and do chores and blah, blah, blah. But a lot of 14-year-old kids that would come in there after, they couldn't handle it. Didn't even know how to get a job. But yeah, just things. I finally got out and went and moved it. I got the state to, instead of paying, a group home or a foster parent or something like that, I got them to pay me, and then I would pay my best friend's parents to rent a room downstairs. And when I was 15, and there was their daughter was skipping school, and they blamed me for it, and it really didn't have anything to do with me at all. But whatever, they kicked me out, so that's why I said, going to New Orleans, and went down there. Got a job on Bourbon Street. I was the hand grenade man because I couldn't legally work in the bar, so I was the mascot outside, and I would dance around and get pictures taken and shit like that. And, but by the time I was 17, I was bartending. They let me in anyway. You got to be 18 there, but it was fun. That was a fun time in my life. I made a lot of money. I lived and worked on Bourbon Street. I barely left Bourbon Street. My first apartment was above a world famous strip club. But then that came to an end. The owners of the bar I worked for they were drunks, and they would hang out at their own bar. And just one night, they fucking let some girl in that I knew was old enough. She was pregnant. She just wants to come in and get a water and go pee. She does it all the time. I've checked her ID before. I didn't check it that night. Fired. So my life went to an end there. And then I went to California and learned how to do flooring, which, God, that sucks. Did flooring for like 17 years.
You've been in California ever since?
No, I went back. We moved the company to Houston for a while, and the money was good there, but I hate Houston. It's just miserable. Giant cockroaches and giant rats and crime and humidity. And it's like New Orleans, almost the same, but except for no Bourbon Street. So I was only there like 7 months, and then I went and stayed with my mom in Iowa for a little while. got married up there. Horrible fucking mistake. That didn't last very long at all. But and then I went to stay with some friends because my wife, she left, she cleaned out the house, took everything, and one day while I was at work, and so I went to stay with a friend in Pennsylvania. Finally got a call from my uncle, hey, come out to California. Came out here for like 2 months, and then I went down to Mexico, lived down there for like 4 years.
And you've been trans for how long?
I mean, like I've always done stuff, like, I always liked wearing the clothes and stuff, but I never did it in public until about a year and a half ago, I guess, which I regret. I wish I would have done it a lot sooner.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Are you happier now?
Well, yeah. I feel more like me. I don't feel so subconscious. And I know that sounds weird. I mean, at first, you kind of are just because, I lived in Mexico at the time when I did it. And so, like, people down there are, like, way behind the times on that shit. You know what I mean? Even though they actually had, like, gay laws in their favor way before we did here. Yeah, that was all political for money shit. So it's not really true. They don't fucking really accept it. So it was hard. It's kind of a relief being here. I don't catch so much shit in Hollywood. You know what I mean? People are judgmental pricks everywhere, but...
Is it rough on the streets?
You know what? I can handle anything. It was rough at first. When I was in Mexico, I did, buy, sell, and trade goods at the swap meets and stuff, and I continued to do that when I got here because it's just what I knew. And at first, people were stealing my shit all the time, and so. But then I got some fence panels. I built a big cage that I fucking anchored to the ground, to the concrete, and the chains locked it up, and nobody steals my shit anymore. So I do okay. I mean, I do make a little money, not as much as I'd like, but I'm safe too. I don't really feel homeless a lot of times, except for I don't have a shower. That part sucks. If I had a bathroom, I could live in my cage for the rest of my life. I really could. I'm pretty simple. But I got a nice bed and chill area to hang out, and got my half of it's for my work. And
do you have friends?
Does anybody? Are there friends still? I mean, I think acquaintances are closer to the definition of friends now. It doesn't seem like. My best friend, Sally, she was my dog. I got deported from Mexico. That's how I ended up here on the streets. And they fucking, the fucking cops murdered my dog. They're demons, and they did it for no reason to hurt me. It was a battle down there. I was down there making money, and I did it in a fashion that made a lot of people happy. But the police, they always want your money. And they took from me so much. And finally, I just put my foot down. I read the written laws of Mexico, and this is the first time my whole life I was always told, you're too smart for your own good. I never understood that. It didn't make any fucking sense to me whatsoever. How can you be too smart for your own good? It doesn't make any sense, right? Well, I figured it out down there, you know what I mean? Because I was smart, and I learned my laws and invoked my rights. And they showed me, motherfuckers, Mexico, we do whatever we want. Bye. You know what I mean? So then I'm like standing in San Ysidro with nothing, and my dog is gone. And yeah, I don't know. That was a real weird situation too. I was only there for like maybe a week and a half or something. And finally I went to the train station and asked some guy if he'd buy me a ticket to LA. Figured I'd never been here before, so no better time to check it out. And then I didn't know where I was going. Got on the train. I asked, what should I do when I get off the train here? They're like, go to get on the metro or whatever. And I get on the metro and I ask cops, where should I go? And they're like, Highland and Hollywood. Okay, so that's where I went, and that's where I stay most of the time. I don't really venture too far.
How do you get treated on the streets as a trans woman?
The trans part isn't that bad. I mean, it's the homeless that fucking people treat like shit for the most. And I mean, that shit's ridiculous. The homed, or whatever you want to call them, they need educated. You know what I mean? Like, they don't. The biggest problem, really, I think, is they don't understand our situations at all. They automatically assume everybody's on drugs, and that's how we got there, and that's how we're going to stay there, and we're dirty, and I don't know. They don't understand when a guy's holding up a sign that says, "I'm starving." they don't know what that feeling is. When they say I'm starving, they just ate 4 hours ago. You know what I mean? And they're probably eating something right then when they're saying it.
Are drugs a part of your life?
Huh?
Are drugs a part of your life?
They are. You know, I'm not an all day or anything like that. I don't sit around and get high. I mean, I do my thing. I handle my business. And I get high at night because at night when I'm done with everything and I got nothing to do, that's when the worst starts happening. That's when I start thinking, and I'm crying, and you know what? Just get high and forget about it. And I mean, it didn't really start that way. It started more of like, just trying to be up, protect my shit. I was like, people are stealing from me while I sleep and shit like that, you know. But yeah, it's
especially on crystal meth. Is that your drug?
yeah.
You pass out for days, right?
Pass out for days?
You sleep?
No, I mean, no, not much. I figure I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Oh, so you basically don't sleep?
I sleep a couple hours every day, but
Oh, that's it.
but usually, I mean, I have every once in a while I might sleep like 14 hours or something.
That's what I'm talking about.
But that's pretty. I mean, that's like maybe twice a month or something.
That's what I'm talking about. And that's a great opportunity to get robbed.
Yeah, well, I'm in my cage, so
Oh, I see.
I'm okay now. You know what I mean, I'm locked down.
You're in a cage.
Seriously, like the fence panels, 6x12s that they put around construction sites. I got a bunch of them and chained and locked them together and anchored them to the concrete. And then my door, it's a big, chain, and I anchored a bolt to the
So you're safe in there.
to the ground and lock it down. And yeah, nobody's getting in there. I mean, they could. They have to cut the fence and stuff, but nobody does that. Average person isn't walking around with tools for that.
Do you have children?
No, thank God I wouldn't bring anybody into this shit world. Or I don't want to anyway. It's not what when you're growing up, it's just the world is not what you think it's going to be. And especially when you end up in a situation like this where you're homeless and people just fucking dog on you. I mean, I understand too, like people here are fucking bombarded with homeless too. Like where I grew up, I mean, there was like a homeless guy, so like people felt sorry for him and helped him. And I mean, nobody ever bought him a house or anything, but not that I think they should have, but it was different, Now it's like, I get it. I tell people, like, when they ask me for money all the time. And I'm like, fucking broken homeless too, dude. But like, why don't you, that's annoying. Don't ask me for money. Don't ask anybody for money. That's just annoying, Offer something. That's why I sell shit. You know what I mean? And I can make my money without pestering people. If they don't like it, I leave them alone, Some of these guys that's all they do is just stand outside the 7-Eleven, and I'm like, can you do anything else, guys? Come on now.
What was the best time of your life?
Best time of my life? Before I ever knew anything about money. I mean, money's the biggest fucking problem we have. It's every problem we have in the world. It's absolutely evil. There's no reason people should have. I mean, of course, in numbers, people are going to have more than somebody else. But I mean, come on now. I mean, what do you even do when you have $1 billion? What's so great? Like, I don't understand it at all. I mean, are you like getting a blowjob the entire second of every day or something? Like, I mean, I just don't understand like what you even do with that kind of money and what makes it so much better. And why wouldn't my biggest problem if I had that much money would be trying not to give it all away. I'd be wanting to fucking feed everybody. I mean, the world, people starving in the world is just disgusting to me, especially in our own country, but in the whole world too. I mean, we waste enough food in this fucking country every day to feed them all for 5 years. And it's ridiculous, but that's what keeps our dollar strong, right? I mean, in 61, they abolished gold, did a petrodollar for a few years or whatever, and since then, there's nothing backing it. But we print it like a motherfucker because we control who's hungry. We make 90% of the world's food. We fucking sell rice to China now. I mean, we control who's hungry. So, yes, sir, dollar's worth whatever. Can I have my fucking rice now? That's how I feel about it anyway. I don't know if that's true, but it feels like it probably is. Because otherwise, I don't see how our dollar... I mean, there's every day, what is it, like 1,700 millionaires become in this country? It's like, how is there that much money? It doesn't make any sense. They're just printing it. It's just coming out. Why don't they just give us all something? You know, maybe everybody should get like one time in their life, like, oh, here's $1 million, don't fuck it up. If you fuck it up, who cares? It all goes back to the rich anyway. The poor people spend their money, not the rich. The rich spend their interest, you know?
How do you support yourself? How do you make money?
The swap meets and selling stuff online, which I hate that too, but...
You're not doing sex work or anything like that?
No, I never sold my body. I give this shit away for free. It's a joke. But no, I don't sell. I've never done that.
Yeah. Would you describe yourself as happy?
I mean, people say I always have a smile. I try to be, you know,
You seem to be.
I try to value the things that are really valuable and important. And if I was concerned about money all the time, I would absolutely be depressed because, I don't know. I mean, I probably somewhere in me have the potential to make a bunch of it, but even if I did, I'm really bad with it. I spend my money. It doesn't matter how much money I make. Every day I wake up broke. You know, I like to shop. I like to eat. And I don't know if I'm going to be around tomorrow anyway, so.
How old are you?
I'll be 39 on St. Patty's Day.
You're 39. If you had your life to live all over again, would you have done anything differently?
Where would I start with that one? Where would be the starting point for doing it all differently? Yeah, I mean, I guess there was a girl named Pearl. Beautiful soul, beautiful body. I mean, just everything about her was great. I met her in Mammoth Lakes, California. Lived there for like 6 years. And that was the biggest town she'd ever lived in her life. She was American Indian. I wish I would have been better to her. I was a complete prick. I mean, I was snowboarding 150 days a year. I was selling a bunch of weed. I just thought I was king of the world back then. And I was a dick to everybody. Should have married that girl. She'd have been good for me. That would have been a good start. Before that, though, I try not to really have any regrets. You know, everything I've done and experienced is all part of who I am and what I am, and I don't feel like I'm a shitty person or anything. So, I mean, I've got things like that I feel bad for, but we all make mistakes. That's human. You have to make mistakes. As long as you learn from them, then it's okay. You know what I mean? But if you keep doing it, then you're a dumbass. At least that's what I was taught. My uncle taught me a lot. When I came to California at 18 and learned a family business, my uncle was kind of like the dad to me, and he taught me a lot about life. And, you know, at first I thought he was a complete prick, but now that I'm older, it's like, yeah, I'm glad he was around. Glad I learned from him. He's in Mexico. He's got tons of kids down there and 3 different women.
Are your parents still alive?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure. I don't really talk to them.
When's the last time you spoke to your parents?
Dad I spoke to since I've been here, but he was a douchebag, and I just I blocked him from Facebook and told him to leave me alone. Dad's been in a punk band since he was a kid, and it's just, that's how he is. He's just a punk, you know what I mean? He will always be younger than me. Mom, she was fucked up growing up and real abusive. I wasn't with her very much, but she's changed her life. I mean, she went from working on Bourbon Street to moved to Egypt for like 8 years, became a Muslim, and then came back here and was a Mormon for forever. And then I don't know what she's doing now. She's somewhere. She's either here in California or in Arizona, I think. But I don't know. COVID hit. I hadn't talked to Mom in like a year and a half or something. I called her up. Oh my God, so glad to hear from you. At the time, you know, things weren't that great economically, and I told her what was going on, and I was really homeless, but I was like living in like basically somebody's closet down in Mexico. And so she's like, oh, let me send you $1,000. And, you know, over a few months, she helped me buy a truck because my truck got stolen down there. Gave me like $6,000 in 6 months or something like that. And then COVID hit, and like she's just substitute teacher. She had no work. They shut down the schools, and she just blamed me for all her financial problems now and stopped speaking to me. But I don't really even care anymore. You know what? They've been shitty parents my whole life. I don't need them anyway. Even when they were there, they fucking were useless. Well, Dad was never there, but Mom. I mean, I remember being like 7 or 8 years old. She'd just disappear for 2 or 3 days at a time. So, but I took care of myself. I went to school every day.
You graduated high school?
I didn't graduate. I left and went to New Orleans, but I did get my GED finally when I was like 30, which was a cakewalk. Never really needed it. I've only had one job that even asked me if I graduated high school. With doing flooring and stuff, I mean, we just worked for ourselves, and then I've been doing what I do here now for 3.5 years or something like that. Almost 4, I don't know.
Sammy, what would you say is the most important thing you've learned in your life?
It doesn't matter how much money you make. It's what's important is how much you save. Because when shit hits the fan, as much as I hate money, you gotta have some. Because the landlord and the grocery store, they don't accept barter and skills for payment. I don't know if that's the most important thing.
Are you saving money?
Fuck no. I might die tomorrow. Who knows? I mean, I don't care about saving money. But, it's too late for that. I mean, that's not engraved in me. If I could go back and have that engraved in me as a young kid, that would be great. Because if I would have saved 10%, like tithing to the church or something, of everything I've ever made, I'd be fine right now. I have made money in my life. I just always spend it. It goes fast. And then, being homeless, I'll tell you what, it's expensive to be homeless. I at first I didn't want any help at all. Like I get EBT now, to help with food. And at first I was like, no, I don't need any of that shit. Mom had us on that shit as a kid. I didn't want it part of my life. And when you're doing that, that can be really expensive because everything you eat is like from a restaurant or the gas station, and you can't save anything. You don't have a fridge. And when people are stealing your shit too, oh my God, you got to replace everything. I was going about crazy. Like every couple of weeks, I'm like at the store buying the same fucking makeups or whatever it is that I needed to replace because somebody stole my bag again. And makeup's expensive, and I don't really like to steal. I mean, I can't say I'm perfect and haven't, but I try to keep it as minimal as possible. There's plenty of stuff out there for me to obtain. I mean, Hollywood people just leave the craziest shit just laying around, and I can make money off that and buy what I need. But the economy's really bad right now, though, so people aren't buying like they used to. And, I made killer money in Mexico, actually. Really good money down there. It's swap meets. Yeah. When I first went down there, I didn't do anything for money the first year. I had a little bit of an income coming in. And just observing, I lived in this little gringo community called San Miguel. And I just noticed how wasteful these people were. So I started talking to them and going to other communities and saying, hey, don't throw that away. Call me. I come in my truck, I get it, donate it to me. And then I sell it for dirt cheap because it's 100% profit. Everybody's happy, you know what I mean? So that worked out really good. I mean,
do you feel like you were loved in your childhood?
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like if I had children and I loved them, I would love them forever, and they wouldn't be on the streets. I mean, I just can't see how anybody loves me. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck am I doing out here? I got no friends, no family. They all suck.
Do you feel like you were ever loved?
I don't know. I mean, only because they were supposed to. Because I was a kid, and they're like, oh, that's my grandkid, or oh, that's my kid. I gotta love him, right? I don't know. I mean, in hindsight now, it's like, I don't know. Mom, I mean, how you fucking... I mean, Mom would pick up anything. Hockey stick, fishbowl, just push my head through the wall, whatever it took to fucking hit me or hurt me. So, I mean, I think, yeah. That's a fucked up thing to teach a kid, too, because that teaches them you can beat somebody up and love them at the same time. Which is probably why I was aggressive in my 20s, and wasn't really that good to a couple of girls. Because I thought I could love them and beat them, too. I guess, I don't know, I didn't. Love, I don't know. People love family because they have to. Romantic love, that shit's bullshit. That love's a hard dick. Once that goes away. We're all just about ourselves. Everybody's about themselves these days. I hate that. You know, I like to say that I have so much love in my heart that it makes me fucking hate everybody. Because we're all so shitty to each other and ourselves and our planet. I wish I could spill the love and give it and teach people, and can't. Everybody's too concerned about how fat their wallet is. Most people out here would steal from their own mother if they thought it was going to fatten their wallet just a tad bit. People suck. Coronavirus needs to do a better job or something. We need something. There's too many people in the fucking world.
All right, Sammy. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Yeah. I wish I could go longer.
No, thank you very much.
I hope that was okay.
It was great.